For those of you, there is some negative stories you've been telling yourself. It's very repetitive in your ears. Every time you encounter some difficulties, you are used to tell yourself this story. Chinese characters is too hard, right? The pinyin is too hard, the tones are too hard. Then you're trying to maybe blame the language. And some of you, you don't know your reason why you are learning this language. You try to quit. So the previous time you've been learning this language, it will be wasted. Waste your time, and it's like wasting your life. Okay, that's why you need to know your reason why you want to learn this language, not just for fun. Many of you, you are learning the language for fun. You don't even know the reason why. Okay, it's very important to find out the why you need to conquer this language, why you must speak fluent Chinese, what benefits can you get from speaking fluent Chinese. Okay, because I believe a language is not just a language. Okay, if you master the Chinese language, it will certainly give you better job opportunities. And later you can negotiate business deals with Chinese people, and that allows you to get promoted in your company. That allows you to generate more income for yourself, right? And certainly you will get a so much better life. You will get a better life. So it's never a language. It's never a language. So whether you believe you can or you cannot, you got to be the creators. You got to be the creator of your destiny by those beliefs. Okay? If you believe you cannot do it, you will not do it. And once you didn't take the action, you cannot change your life. Okay, so you are always suffered by your negative belief. Okay, it's the story you've been telling yourselves. Sometimes it's not true. Sometimes it's not true. Okay, just imagine this is the last day of your life. This is end of your life. And now you are sitting down with your creator, no matter what your religion's belief is, okay? You are sitting down with your creator. And right now he is playing a video of a woman or a man you could have been, okay? He's playing a video of a woman or a man you could have been. And if you don't have the fear, if you took uncomfortable actions, if you define the odds, okay, if you find the solutions to all your problems, if you are not afraid. And just by looking at these videos and think about it, look at this courageous you, right? The bold you. And the you enjoyed all the abundance, joy, and happiness. And you also leave a legacy to your family. And your children think about you. Oh, my dad, he did whatever he said he would do. Or my mom, she did whatever she said she would do. And they were so proud of you. Whenever your children wants to do something, they will just do it. They are not afraid, and they went for it. Just by looking at this video, and you realize that actually you didn't take any action to make that happen. Nothing happened. Okay, how would you feel at that moment? At that moment, this is the end of your life, the last day of your life, and you are watching a video of a man or a woman you could have been, but actually you didn't take any actions. What would you do at that moment? And how would you feel at that moment? There's no second chance. Life is only one shot. Okay, no second chance. Everyone only have one chance. And at that time, you wish you could go back time. But there's no second chance. Okay, then you will be regret, and you're thinking to yourself, why not I kept telling myself those negative stories? Why not I couldn't find solutions to the problems? Right? How would you feel? You will feel regret, right? About the things that you didn't do and the things you could have done. That's the real fear And that's the real regret. Okay? And you're thinking to yourself, I want a second chance. I want a second chance. Well, wish granted, okay? Because you are here and you can start your life fresh today by taking uncomfortable actions. And you are thinking Chinese is too hard. I'm not going to conquer it, something like this. Don't believe that. It's just a negative story you've been telling yourself. And for most of us, we've been suffering from our negative belief. Don't give too much power to it. And it doesn't deserve it. It's just a negative belief you've been telling yourself. Okay, it's not true. If you really want to do something, you will be very, very resourceful and you will find solutions to your problems. Okay, that's why I've been emphasizing you have to know your why, your reason why to learn this language. Okay, or you wouldn't stick to it and waste your time. So don't do it. Don't do it. And remember, the word can't actually is can, right? The first three letters is can. And the word impossible is I am possible. I am possible. Okay, it depends on how you frame the issue. Some people, when they encounter some difficulties, they will feel like, okay, this is my chance to turn my life around. I'm willing to take this challenge. But for most of the people, they just chicken out, right? They run away and they feel like this difficulty has defeated them. But it's not true. They didn't even try it, right? They didn't even try it, right? And we believe problems should be something we should be avoid, but it's not true. Actually, problems make us grow and make us become so much stronger. Okay? It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Don't be afraid of problems. When you encountered some difficulties in learning Chinese language, then you solve the problem, right? Maybe you learn from your teacher, then you solve the problem. You will feel proud of yourself, and you can always learn something from it. Okay, you can always learn something from it. It's growth. It's growth. It makes you grow, actually. Okay, for the Chinese business etiquette. So when you are attending a formal dinner party, right, or a banquet in China, and there are certain customs you must know. Okay, so during a dinner or a lunch, distinguished guests and the host, they will be placed at what we call the seats of honor. Okay, so the seats of honor actually facing the door or the entrance. So those are the seats of honor. When you are going to a dinner, right, you invited by your Chinese friends, and they arrange your seat facing the door or facing the entrance. You know they respect you a lot. This is the seat of honor. Okay. So when it comes to having dinner or having lunch, most of the cases you will need to drink wine. Okay. Most of the cases you need to drink wine. So 干杯 means drink up the wine in your glass. Drink up the wine in your glass. 干杯 cheers, cheers. And for Chinese people, we are accustomed to drinking and eating a lot of dishes first, and then we will have rice and soup. Okay, so when it comes to serving courses in some Chinese restaurants, first it will be some appetizers, right? Appetizers, then some fried dishes, and then some main dishes, and then rice, soup, dessert, and fruit. Okay. This is the sequence of serving courses in Chinese restaurants: appetizer, fried dishes, main dishes, and rice, soup, dessert, and fruit. This is the sequence. So we always say 随意 when we are having dinner or having lunch. 随意, it means you can drink whatever you like. You can drink whatever you like. To eat or drink as you pleases, or as you are able to. Drink as much as you want, right? Eat as much as you want. So it's actually, Chinese people say this to express that they are very polite. Okay, it's just a way of saying to express they are very, very polite. So some of you, maybe before you have some dinner or lunch with Chinese people, right? Especially when you're trying to strike a deal with them, you want to make a business deal with them. And they will always ask you to drink a lot of wine during the meal, during the dinner. Usually it's a dinner, right? During the dinner. Have you ever wondered why? Why? What's the reason why they want you to drink a lot of wine? Why they want you to drink a lot of wine? You can put in the chat or you can raise your hands. You can put in the chat or raise your hands, okay? And UTK and Amit, you can also, if you know the answer, you can also participate, okay? Why do you think they ask you to drink a lot of wine during the dinner? And sometimes you say you cannot drink a lot, they still want you to drink. Especially when you are trying to make a business deal with Chinese people. Why is that? Why is that? Why they want you to drink a lot of wine? Why do you want to drink a lot of wine? So how do you get the most out of this lesson? You get the most out of lesson by engaging. Okay, the more engaged you are, the more you will get out of it. Okay. So when I was learning English, I engaged a lot with the teacher. Okay, ask questions and answering questions. That's how I get the most out of it and make progress so much faster. Whenever I have the chance, the teacher asks a question, I will raise my hand. I was afraid as well. Okay, I was afraid as well sometimes. But how do you conquer your fear? You conquer your fear by just do it, not thinking about it. Okay, this is how you can conquer your fear. If you're just sitting there and do nothing, and you learn the language or learn anything by just passively listening to it and without implementing it, that means you learn the language just by input without output. You just always learning it. You don't speak it, right? You don't speak it, or you are learning Chinese characters. You just learn it. You do not write it. It's hard for you to write beautiful Chinese characters, or harder for you to memorize the character. Okay? So why Chinese people always ask you to drink a lot of wine during the dinner, even though you said I cannot drink a lot? So here is the answer. Here is the answer. So they want to get you drunk so they can know the real you. Okay? Because we believe if a person is drunk, his or her true colors will show. Okay? So they will know what your real personality is. So they could know the real you. And also, when you are having dinner with them and they want you to drink a lot of wine, right? They want to find out if you are trustworthy, if you are very sincere. They will think about you don't even want to drink wine with me, right? You are refused to drink wine with me. How do I know you are trustworthy? How do I know you are sincere enough to work with? You refuse to do so, right? When it comes to some major things, maybe you don't want to do it as well. So there's a reason behind it. There's a lot of reasons behind it. They don't just ask you to do it at their will. They want to text you. It's a text, okay, to test you are sincere or if you are trustworthy. And they can also know the real you. And they believe the more you drink, the more respect you show. Okay? So there's many reasons behind it. Some of you, if you want to make a deal with them and you don't know the reason why, right? You don't know the reason why they want you to drink a lot and you just don't do it. It's harder for you to make a deal. It's very hard. Okay? They are observing you actually. They are observing you to see if you are a person they could work with you long term. And business in China is actually relational. So they prefer to work with people they know for a long time. Okay. So if you could really make the deal, and then if you are trustworthy, right? If the products are good, they prefer to work with you for a long time. Okay, they prefer to work with people they trust and know about. Okay. So sometimes if you are late for a dinner or for a lunch, you have to drink 3 shots before everything starts. Okay, this is kind of the tradition. It works in some cases, especially in the business situations. So don't be late. Don't be late for dinner or lunch. In Chinese, we say 罚酒三杯. 罚酒三杯, that means to punish you to drink 3 shots. Okay, we say 罚酒三杯. So sometimes if you are invited by a Chinese person, especially in the business context, okay, you are invited by a Chinese person to a dinner or just for a drink, actually it's a very good sign. That means you can have some other activities, right? Maybe golf or something. That means that they already began to trust you. Okay, they already began to trust you and they would like to know more about you. Okay, so it's a very good sign. And sometimes your Chinese business partner, right, potential buyers invite you to a ballroom. It actually means you almost signed the deal. You're almost signing the deal. But in North America, it's quite different, right? You go to the ballroom and you back and forth. After you sign the deal, you go out and celebrate. But in China, it's totally the opposite. We go out, right? Go out first. Then we have some dinner, some lunch. Because Chinese business people, they tend to observe people first. Okay, they want to find out what's your personality, what's your characters, and what's your true self. What's the real you, right? What's the real you? Is that a person they can work with? Are you sincere? Are you trustworthy? Then they will decide if they want to do business with you or not. They want to strike a deal with you or not. Okay, so they were observing you a lot before signing the deal with you. Okay? And remember, you are just one language away. You are just one language away from all the things you want, from your dream. Okay? Because language is never just a language. It could help you to get promoted, or it could help you to make a big deal. Okay? And then you increase your income. Then you improve your life. So it's not just a language. You are just one language away.